No, but he proved over time to be talented beyond everybody else. Like, you know, I don't like the new crop of music. Obviously, it's not made for me. But I will say that Drake is the only one whose voice I could pick out of anybody.
Right.
Like, you could play me 10 tracks, and I'll be like, is that the same guy 10 times? But if you play me 10 tracks and one Drake song, I'm like, oh, that was Drake right there.
Right. You're a child of hip-hop, though.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? You grew up on hip-hop.
Yeah, Lord Finesse lives in my house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah, listen, without Lord Finesse and my wife, I'd probably be dead right now.
Really?
Yeah, I got dark during that pandemic.
Oh, so that pandemic was not a joke. Real 92.3, LA's new home for hip-hop, Big Boy's neighborhood. Be very afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Russell Peters is back into the neighborhood. How you doing, Russell Peters?
Hello, kids. How are you?
We are doing amazing, brother. How have you been holding up, man?
Well, things have been better. Things have been better now. Things are getting better. Things are going back to normal.
Hey, man, speaking of back to normal, I remember, dude, when the pandemic started hitting and the shows were being canceled. Russell, didn't you move?
I moved.
Yeah, you didn't know how long this was going to happen. Huh?
My accountant was like, hey, you want to go broke? I go,
No.
What are you talking about? Sell your house.
Sell your house. So you sold your house.
And you know what? Biggest regret of my life was selling that damn house.
Are you serious?
That house. I missed that house like you couldn't imagine.
Damn.
I don't get attached to material things, but that one was like, I was like, I could have lived here for the rest of my life. I'd have been fine.
But you just didn't know what was coming around the corner. Did you sell cars and stuff too?
I got rid of cars, houses, watches.
You have the same
I figured
accountant?
I'd get rid of the watches before they got robbed from me.
Right, yeah, especially here.
Yeah.
Do you have the same accounnt?
Yeah, I got rid of him. I actually really did try to get rid of him for a minute. He was
Really?
like, listen, I know too much.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah. All right. Well, stay on with me. Stay on with me. So you moved to a new crib. Not as happy as the other one.
no, not even
I heard
close.
that. How's life treating you, bro?
I mean, it's getting better now. You know,
Yeah.
we're back. You know, you got to dip. I think that's good. It's a good thing for me. Life made me dip.
Right.
It humbled me.
Right.
And then made me realize what I don't need. So I got rid of houses, cars, baby mamas, all kinds of things.
Right.
And
I love how you just threw that baby mama line real quick. I'm not gonna even stop you on that one, bro.
just, you know.
Yeah.
And you got to keep it moving.
Right.
Picked up some new things, smaller houses, less cars, better woman.
Right.
Everything is just.
Hey man, now you did go to. Was your separation? Was it public?
Not really.
Okay.
I didn't
okay.
make it public
Right.
until just this moment.
Right.
No,
Do you bring it up in like your comedy routine?
I
or
may
anything?
or may mention it or not.
Right. Yeah.
I don't name names.
Yeah. Is that what act your age means? The act your age world too? Like act your age. You recently got married, right?
Correct.
Why wasn't I invited to your wedding?
Listen,
Let's go right
I'll
there.
tell you
Let's
why.
go right there.
Because you know how many times you've been invited to my house? I mean, if you can't come to my house, how you going to make it to my wedding? Correct.
Wow.
Hey,
That's why.
And we lived around the corner when I was invited. Hey, come on over.
So the reason I wasn't invited, so it was a personal vendetta.
No,
you
it wasn't
thought
personal.
about it.
Actually, I did think about it, but then we were like tight on the schedule, on the invites, and I should have invited you because the people that didn't show up, I don't talk to anymore. I'm like, well, fuck you.
Really though?
Not so much that they didn't show up, the fact that they weren't going to tell me they weren't going to show up.
Oh man,
That's true.
see, at least when I didn't come to the house, I told you I couldn't make it.
No,
I was never on my way.
You just never guaranteed you were coming.
Yeah,
so.
I was never on my way.
You were,
And
you
then
know,
you throw things different, man. You Thursday night, 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I can't do that, Russell
listen,
Peters.
you know, Saturday night, it was like, it's always impromptu, that's why.
Right.
You know, so Saturday night, Ray
and
Parker
then
Jr.
I
was
got a
over.
wife that I love.
No, I
See
love
what
my
I'm saying?
wife.
Now-
You could have
yeah,
brought
you got
yours.
a wife that you love now, but you weren't even married back then.
No.
I didn't want to go into your house of despair and depression.
You would have loved it.
Right.
I was trying to get some happiness out of you. I was trying to get some fresh squeezed happiness.
So you back to you didn't invite me just because. Wow, that you thought about it. Then
I
you
thought
said,
about
"Oh,
it.
nah."
I said to my wife, should we invite Big Boy? She goes, eh. No, I'm just kidding. She's from Long Beach. What do you want?
Right. And you know how they hate me in Long Beach. I just found that out, from you. Yeah. When is your birthday again?
Next month.
Yeah, September, right?
29th.
29th. Yeah, I had COVID. I had COVID last year on September 29th.
But it was the year before that.
The year before that, too. This COVID been around. This shit have been around longer than what we thought.
You've been having COVID.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this been around longer than what I thought, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is crazy because I always get COVID around like the fall. That kind of, yeah. So I couldn't make it.
That's why we didn't invite you, because
Right.
we weren't sure what your status was
I'm
with
still
COVID.
upset that you didn't invite me to the wedding, man.
I'm going to send you the video. It's
Of the
really,
wedding?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I saw that and I was like, oh, I thought we were better than this. You could at least fake invited me.
You didn't get it?
There it is. I like
There it
that.
is.
There it is, man. All righty now. Y'all stick around y'all
Let me fit into
radios.
the LA lifestyle.
We got the fake ass Russell Peters. Russell Peters in the neighborhood. I'm about to pay for that. Y'all stick around y'all radios, Big Boy's neighborhood.
I got a great woman.
Yeah.
I got a great woman. I married a woman my age.
Is this your first marriage?
My second marriage.
Second marriage. Okay.
You get the test one out the way, you know.
Right.
There's the beta
First
version.
pancake.
Yeah, first pancake. Not really the right size, not really the right texture. Pan heats up a little more. Bam, crispy edges.
and so now you feel like, okay, this is the one.
This is definitely like when people meet us, they go, "Oh, I get it."
Right.
It's the first time I've been with a woman, and I was like, "Oh, I get it. This is what, man." Everything fell into place perfectly.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you feel like now that you're at an age and a point in your life where this is like, okay, this is what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, and
This
also
is
my
it.
head doesn't like do. I don't look at every woman and go, "Wonder what it'd be like." I'm like, nah, I know what the fucking repercussions of that will be.
Right.
I'm good without any of that in my life.
Right. Were you slutty?
Oh, I was a hooker.
Really? Yeah.
Man, I was a hooker who had Groupons.
Around the world, huh?
Yeah, I was the only hooker with a Groupon.
Hey man, around the world.
Yeah, I don't know why my dick didn't fall off or why no more kids have popped up. So I'm good with that. You
Right.
know what I mean?
STDs.
Only twice.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
A little chlamydia never hurt nobody.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't gonna hurt chlamydia.
We're
It's
gonna
just
die.
creamy.
Wow. It's not Act Your Age tour. When you say Act Your Age World Tour,
Yes.
bro, you hit places that I don't know if comedians hit.
That's my goal, is to always go to places nobody else can go to.
Man, like when you kicked off the tour, you kicked off in, was it Abu Dhabi?
We kicked off in Abu Dhabi. But it wasn't, in all fairness, it wasn't really ready yet.
Right.
But I still went and did it because money talks.
Yeah.
And-
You know what I'm saying?
And it was an opportunity to open up this brand new arena in Abu Dhabi. So I like being the first, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
where do you not where do you go next, but where have you been? And not even on Act Your Age. Just name some of the countries that you have stood on stage and did sold out shows to, bro.
let's see, Saudi Arabia, Croatia. Like these are places like where you go comedy.
Yeah.
You know, Lithuania.
Yeah, man.
Like it makes sense if you're a rapper. You're like, oh well, you know, they see they want to see the vibe. And with me, I'm like, you really need to understand what I'm saying.
Right. Do they get the language barrier to places that you go to?
Because they all know English. We're the only idiots that don't know two
Other languages, yeah.
Except for your staff, they all know a second language. But,
and then, you know, I speak Pig Latin. You know
Yeah,
what
well,
I'm
there you
saying?
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Oh,
you're
sorry.
a pig Latino.
Yeah. I would take it. Hey, man, I've noticed, even when you put up on social media, bro, I know you have a set where you like, okay, I worked on this new hour. I put a lot into it. But you will also get on stage, bro, and you are so quick-witted with people that's just in the audience. Like, I would literally, if somebody came and said, man, I got front row tickets to see Russell Peters, I'm like, no, bro, put us in the back.
You know, that's my favorite thing. You know, as a hip hop fan,
Yes, sir.
for me, it's always about who can spit off the dome.
Yeah.
Who
So
can
this
you can make a hit
this your
record too.
freestyling.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
and I can't rap, so I'm like, well, this is my version of that.
Right, man. But not only, because sometimes you get some freestylers that don't know how to make the album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you freestyle and you make the album. Yeah.
I freestyle the album.
Have you ever had, and this is a crazy question, but somebody that really got upset with you, or they understand, like, man,
Yeah,
we can't.
I was at your show at the Improv that night. Remember that DJ kid?
Hey, dude, he went in on Ty Hollywood.
Oh my.
Hey, man.
got so
And then
upset.
it was times when I was telling Ty, I said, Ty, don't.
Really?
Don't. Yeah, he was trying to get back on the mic saying things, and you weren't even as brutal as you could have been.
Because I could have taken him out on the turntables first.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. And then you were like, man, why waste this material? There's only 4 of us in here anyway. Remember that night? Hey, man, the one Russell Peters favor I get, I fucking do it on that night. Yeah. Literally.
well, we'll get it again, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, let's double it to 8 people.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Eric Blake can only bring so many people. That's why Jessica makes lasagnas for everybody.
Hey, man, you a piece of... Oh, my God. Hey, dude, I was just... I shouldn't even...
Is the
Look at
lasagna
this.
good at all?
Hey, dude, yes. Hey, dude, we shouldn't even be doing this. Oh, my God,
I
man.
love Eric and Jessica. What are you talking about?
Hey, dude, this dude, no one is spared, man. No one. Oh my gosh, man. I should, this is one of them things where I shouldn't be laughing because the laughter is gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? The laughter is gonna hurt. But we were just talking about her lasagna yesterday.
Lasagna's good as hell. That lasagna gave him a career.
Oh man, Eric Blake, I love you, man. You got to get him back, Eric. You got to get him back. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting the man, speak.
He can get me. Eric can get me back. His first cousin is Trey from the Far Side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he is my wife's ex-boyfriend.
Really? Whoa. Yeah. Wait.
Well, one of. I mean,
okay,
my wife's pussy's like a mixtape, but I am.
Your wife now?
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
What? She knows I make these jokes about it.
Right.
Baby, don't leave me, please.
Yeah, he like, this ain't new material that I'm doing, big. Like, come on now, I thought you knew. So your wife's, explain it again.
So when she was like 17 or 18,
right,
she dated Trey.
From the Far Side.
Yeah, and that's when they were just doing the first album.
Oh my
when
God!
When you were working with them.
Yeah. So
the whole thing is tied together.
Right.
See, the first time I got booed off stage
was with us.
Was with you, and then the first time I got kicked out of a limo was from you.
Me. Hey man, that's probably
you kicked him out of a limo.
Hey,
yeah,
man.
you didn't know me. I was just some punk who just got booed off stage.
We were doing a show in Toronto, in Canada, right? And I remember it was what was it, Black Moon, and you don't.
No, it was you guys, and then it was like a bunch of local Canadians.
Really? Okay.
It was me and a group called Bass's Bass.
But Black Moon wasn't on that one?
No, not on that one.
Okay, so anyway, as he tells the story, which I vaguely remember, okay, I remember, this is kind of like when you just first started doing comedy.
I was 4 years in, yeah.
Okay. And you
93, it was 93.
You're still working and everything is kind of still fragile to you.
Oh, yeah. And listen, I deserve to get booed off
right.
that night.
So
it's not like I got booed off and was like, I don't know what I did wrong. I fucking know exactly what I did wrong.
Right. So
I had a special made baseball jersey that it was dope. And it was like a cream color and it was red and it said strictly hip hop. And I wore these red jeans with it. But I tucked in the fucking baseball jersey.
Oh, man.
It looked neater.
Yeah. I'll show these clowns.
Yeah.
And so you get up there, you get booed.
You get booed.
And
my
you
mouth
leave
goes
off.
dry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I used to box, and it's exactly like the first time your chin gets checked, and the room starts spinning. And you're like, I know my legs can move.
Right, yeah.
But why aren't they working?
And so where do you go seek refuge at?
I walked out of the building. I see a limo sitting in front. I opened the door. There's nobody in it. Fuck it. I went inside and sat there because there was nobody around me. I'm like, this is quiet in here. And then I see a little all-access, but a separate Far Side pass. Not the one that the promoter had. REMG had his own, but then the Far Side had their own. And then I had that, and I put it around my neck.
Oh.
And then you open the door and go, who the fuck are you? And I go, I'm the comedian. I was just on stage. Where the fuck you get that pass from? Man, get the fuck out the limo. Give me the goddamn pass back. I was like, yeah, sorry, man.
I probably didn't say it like that. I probably was like, hey, man, you need to get the fuck out this limo.
Give me
that motherfucking pass back. You know?
Yeah,
pretty
much like that.
Yeah, sorry
I may have
about
been
that. And look where we are now. You know what I'm saying?
And you wonder why you weren't invited to the wedding?
This is for that.
Hey, man, he got old issues with me. He got like real validated issues, man. Hey, man, but who would have thought that years later that this is where we would be sitting at?
I mean, listen.
That's crazy, man.
None of that. That's why I'm like, I'm not an asshole to nobody because I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to see them again.
Right.
In what capacity?
Do you feel like I was an asshole to you that night?
Nah, you were doing your job.
Right.
I understood that you were doing your job. I didn't fight you on it because I was like, I get it. You're doing your job.
Right.
I was like, I don't.
And then I was like,
and I knew I didn't.
Jokes next time. That's what I told him.
He told him like
I said, I'm funnier than you. And then remember I said, you'll never amount to nothing.
Now go on now. Don't look back at me.
And then look, at your age, it is going down, man. Microsoft Theater. Is it this Saturday night?
This Saturday night, August 13th.
Yeah.
This Saturday.
Is it different performing at home?
Yeah. Well, I just performed in Toronto 2 weeks ago. The Scotiabank Arena. It was my 8th time selling it out.
And what's the capacity there?
16,000.
Jesus Christ.
We were shy. We had 15,000.
Right.
But Drake had a party that night.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Hey, man, is it like a Canadian camaraderie with you, Drake?
I mean,
Bieber.
I've known Drake since his first album was about to come out, and we would text each other, and he don't reply no more.
Right.
But he reads them.
Right.
I look and I see red, and I go, and I do this. I go, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Drake read
reading
my
me.
text.
Oh, I remember the days.
I remember when I used to call you Aubrey. Thanks.
So did you know, seeing Drake early on, that he had something special or he would be special?
I didn't know.
Right.
I mean, I knew he was a really nice kid. And you know, he's Jewish. He's gonna make it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And that's our cancel part right there.
And he's talented. You know,
and he's talented.
right.
No, but he proved over time to be talented beyond everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I don't like the new crop of music. Obviously, it's not made for me. But I will say that Drake is the only one whose voice I could pick out of anybody.
Right.
Like, you could play me 10 tracks, and I'll be like, is that the same guy 10 times? But if you play me 10 tracks and one Drake song, I'll be like, oh, that was Drake right there.
Right. You're a child of hip hop, though.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? You grew up on hip hop.
Yeah, Lord Finesse lives in my house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah, listen, without Lord Finesse and my wife, I'd probably be dead right now.
Really?
Yeah, I got dark during that pandemic.
Oh, so that pandemic was not a joke.
No,
it wasn't funny to you.
No. I mean, listen, I still found it funny, but
Right.
you know.
Did you see yourself in like really thinking like how you never thought before?
Oh yeah, I was driving down Malibu Canyon one time, and I was like, if I don't turn this wheel right now, I'm in a Lamborghini. It'll be a nice way to go.
Why do you think that?
Oh, it just got dark, man. It got dark. I didn't see my kid. Had all that stuff. You know, you got the money, the you know, your accountant weighing on your head, man. You need to stop. You need to do that, and you're like, and then you got the lawyers calling you, and you need to pay for that lawyer, and you got to pay for your lawyer, and you're not seeing your kid, and you're like, fuck everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you miss people?
Because
Is comedy therapeutic for you?
Oh, comedy's very therapeutic for me. That's how I always get it. That's how I always get right with getting on stage, because I can get everything off my chest. And then people are like, well, why don't you go talk to a therapist? I go, they're not going to be able to do what I do. I'm going to go and I could do it all on stage and make it funny.
And with you not having that, did you also miss that as well, like that release?
No, because I was doing a lot of jujitsu during the pandemic, and that was really helping me. Because that gets your mind right and your body right, and then you're able to kill people.
Right. If need be.
Yeah,
if need be.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, man, because a lot of people, when you think about the pandemic, which we're still in, we're just moving through it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, man, you learned a lot about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You had to learn how to pivot. And everybody was either on a sit down. It wasn't like, oh, if you make $100,000, you can still move amongst the world. If you're doing this, It was like everybody was on a sit down. Russell Peters, man, as a comedian, when you saw the Will Smith and Chris Rock thing, just as a comedian, and you say crazy stuff.
Yes.
You know, I mean, almost to the point I don't want nobody to harm you, but if somebody threw a grenade at you, I would say, I kind of understand.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, my jiu-jitsu can only go so far, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, hey man. So if that happened to you, I would have did this. Yeah. But as a comedian that is known also to have fun with the crowd.
Well, first, I don't think Chris said anything that bad,
right?
To be honest. And I here's how I read the whole situation. I think that Chris saw Will walking up to the stage, so Chris was smiling like, oh, we know each other. He's gonna do something funny, and it's gonna be funny. Then Will slapped Chris, and I think Chris still thought, I think he miscalculated the slap. I think that's how Chris read it. It was like, hey man, I think you
right. You hit me hard.
I think you were supposed to fake it.
Right.
That's why I was like, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me because he still thought it was a joke. Then it wasn't until Will sat down and started cursing at him that Chris was like, wait, what? Yeah. You were serious?
He was like, it's a joke.
That's when it became real.
Yeah, and at one point it almost looked like Chris was going to say, I could have said, and then he was just like, let it go.
Yeah.
Would you add 2 or more into it? I think you would have did a new hour.
No, I have a temper. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have been like, get the fuck back here, motherfucker.
Yeah. The Oscars would have been over.
It would have been a situation. I'm not saying it would have been a good thing to do, but it's a different. I have a different way of handling things. But I've been bullied my whole life, so for me, it's like, oh, you gonna bully me in front of? Yeah, hell yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you could tell.
That's strange. Yeah.
I don't know if you could tell. I don't lash out on people.
You don't, right?
That's why his defense is good, bro.
Calmate, Sponge Roberto.
Hey man. This dude. So you saying temper-wise that and I can understand that where somebody will say, man, even if I would have went to the back, I would have been like, bro, like I got to tear this place up. And everybody can say what they would have done.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember, was it Earthquake that was talking about how we had Earthquake in the neighborhood, and he was talking about, man, people say what they could have done, but he was like, man, he was like trying to defend her love. And the way that he put it was like, she doesn't love him. He keeps doing these things. So he was like, he could have fought anybody.
Yeah, I don't think it was specific to Chris.
Right.
I think it was just a boiling pot. And
Right.
it just needed somebody to say something.
Have you ever got anyone upset with you that's come on stage?
No, that's not the way it's going to go.
Right, I heard that.
It's in a comedy club, it's different. You know, like you're not supposed to be here. Only I'm supposed to be here.
Right, yeah.
It's like a limo.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck you doing up here?
Yeah.
Where you get that pass from?
Yeah. Hey, man, I know we had Corey Holcomb in the neighborhood, man, and Corey was talking about, like, man, he didn't even put, like, a hand out. Like, whoa, hold on, man. You know, like, he didn't even put a hand out. But
Yeah,
when you
because
say that, he probably thought, like, oh, okay,
I think they thought we're going to try and make this funny.
Really, yeah.
You know, that's what I think. That's how I read it.
And then we see, you know, the cancel culture that back in the days, man, comedians, the craziest things, y'all made funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing was off limits if you knew how to make it funny.
Well-
and now I feel like we've lost that touch, and things are quite more sensitive, bro.
I don't know about all that.
Really?
I think here's what the problem is. The people that don't listen to these comedians are the ones getting
Right.
upset.
Right.
That's like you having an opinion on country music, and you're like, well, I don't fucking like country music. How does my opinion matter?
Yeah.
So the problem is, if you're going to start changing your act, you're going to lose the people that are there to hear what you have to say.
Right.
And you're not going to gain these other people.
Right.
And you're going to lose everything. And that's their goal, to fucking shake you up and make you unstable.
Man, and then we saw, you know, not just the Chris Rock thing and Will Smith. We see Dave Chappelle. Somebody jumping on stage.
Now
tackling.
that one, I was like, man, that guy's giving you his head. Just take it right there.
Right.
There's a guillotine waiting to happen. Boom. Good night.
Hey, man, so where are you in the world when you see that? And does that also affect you as a comedian? Does that put you more on swivel? Like, man, these nuts are jumping on the stage now.
Nah, I'm not worried about that. My fan base is really loyal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we get some new people in now and then, but like they've been with me. They've been riding with me.
Right.
You know, there's a reason I've been doing arenas for 15 years because my base is strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so
and and when you say your base, bro, they show up all over the world.
We see a lot of artists, they come in, they say, oh, I had, you know, this fan interaction where someone likes your music saved my life. Do comedians get stuff like that too?
Yeah, we get some weird. So I had one situation years ago. This woman sent us an email. She said her son had bad diabetes, and he was playing golf with his friends, and he went by a tree to take his insulin shot, and his friend swung the ball ricocheted off the tree, hit the kid in the head. Kid took a couple steps, passed out, and was in a coma for like 2.5 months.
Wow.
Kid gets up out of coma, has full amnesia, doesn't know his name, doesn't know anything, anybody, anyone. They start rehabbing him, and eventually after a few months he goes home. And he still doesn't really know anybody. He knows that these are the people that are here every day with him, but he still doesn't really recognize anybody, and nothing's really registering. So his friends come over all the time to try and, you know, remind him who he is and who they are. And he's still just like, I don't really know. And then they remembered he was a big fan of my comedy. So they happened to put on my special, and all of a sudden this kid recites everything that I'm saying on the TV.
Oh, hell no.
And the whole family starts crying. So they sent us an email, and then I went to go meet the kid. I went to his house.
And he was like, who are you?
Yeah, I was like, he goes, you're much fatter in person. Now.
Hey, man, how crazy is that for you, though?
That's wild. And then one guy had cancer. He wanted some stuff, so we sent him a bunch of stuff. And then his family sent us a picture of him in his coffin, and he was wearing the T-shirt I gave him. He said he wanted to be buried, and I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
I killed.
Hey, man, what you say?
What?
Y'all heard that, right? I'm not tripping, right?
Yeah.
Did you say some stuff?
Right. All right. Hey, man, and like I said, comedy has all. I saw you look at Ani's ass too.
Oh.
I was seeing if it was Armenian.
Right. Hey, man, but yeah, comedy now.
I
Everybody
thought my
like.
credit card was in her back pocket.
What does that mean?
Hey, if Hovig ends up with new rims, I don't know.
Hey, man.
Ron.
Oh man. Hey, man. All right. And the way that everybody like, You know, everybody now gets that. Am I supposed to laugh off of this?
Well, here's the problem. People are ignoring their natural instincts now.
Yeah, man.
If your natural instinct is to have a certain reaction, that's what you're supposed to do. And people don't like the truth, and the truth is like poetry, and nobody likes fucking poetry.
Right. Hey, man, how is it when you go to different countries? Because we see now, even with what's going on in Russia. You know what I'm saying? Like there, and I was telling my son with the WNBA player.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I was telling my son right now is in London. He's in England, then he go from there to Paris, France with basketball, then they go to Rome, Italy. And I was telling him,
I
said,
he playing
you got
in the like the pro league out there?
No. My son is 15, but he played with Sierra Canyon and his AAU and so on and so forth. My son get down. But I was telling him also, I said, man, there is no such thing called ignorance to the law, where you can't say, I didn't know. They expect you to know the laws when you come in.
Well,
you go to countries that are very strict as well.
They're very explicit on your way in as to what you can and cannot do.
Yes, man.
In Singapore, it says right there, drugs
and
are punishable by death.
Did I just tell you that? I just told them that a few days ago, and it's almost like stamps, like nasty looking.
Oh yeah, it's in big red letters. It's not like there's no subtlety about it. It's like, don't fuck up.
Yeah, that's when you start running the rims of your pockets and shit. Like, man, make sure I don't have.
No, I'm not. I'm good there. I'm good.
Yeah, make sure I don't have.
And then like they tell you about gum. You can have gum in Singapore, but you can't spit on the ground. You spit on the ground, you're gonna get a fine and probably go to jail. I mean, they're really big on littering.
Damn.
Or rather, not littering.
That's just the things that this certain places we don't touch. And that's why you see sometimes also, man, you see our hip-hop community go somewhere and get caught up too. Like, no, bro, you got to know the laws of the land on where you're going. I remember one time, bro, I went to, not Iraq, but Kuwait. In Kuwait, there's a lot of American rule out there. You know,
There's no alcohol in Kuwait.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. No alcohol.
I like that was your big.
Yeah. All the stuff you said. This is the one thing that she's like, oh my God.
No liquor. Oh my God.
How does one get through the day?
What will my liver do?
Right? Yeah. Will it blow back up? Like, what's happening here? But yeah, I remember, man, we went over there, and at one point, I remember we went one time during Ramadan. But also just the rule of, don't look at this, don't do this, don't do that. And you had to really like understand. And you've been to some places, bro, where you like, okay, where am I at? All right, give me my tour book. You know?
I just listen, you go in, you go, what do you guys do? All right, I'm gonna do that. Because I'm not trying to find out.
Big Boy Neighborhood, Russell Peters in the neighborhood, man. Russell Peters, big interview. Before comedy, Russell.
Yes.
Before comedy start paying the bills and you say, you know what, I can make a living off of this. What jobs did Russell Peters have before comedy?
Let's see. I was boxing amateur, so that was never going to go anywhere.
Right.
I was DJing. I still DJ. So I would DJ on weekends because I would only get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday spots. And then weekends I had to make money, so I'd go DJ. And I DJ anything.
Yeah.
And this is back in the day where you had to load all your crates. Never mind just the crates. You had to get the speakers. Not just the speakers. You had to get an amp for the speakers.
Yes.
And the cables.
Yes.
And then your turntables and your mix. You'd have to. And I was driving a Saturn, so I was loading all this into a Saturn.
And then, bro, just the crates and the records alone.
Yeah.
Like, I look at people now and I'm like, man, I love it. I love the technology of it. But I couldn't imagine back in the days that we could just hold a little laptop and walk in, or now mix on.
Oh, I don't use those.
Yeah, so you're still on turntables.
Still on turntables.
But you try to get as much vinyl as you can?
No, I don't play vinyl anymore.
Okay.
I mean, I played it for so long.
Yeah,
I don't got any points to prove with that.
Hard to get some of that other stuff on vinyl now, too.
Yeah, so I don't really play nothing new anyway.
Right, I hear you.
I use those Rain turntables now.
Really? Because of what, the 1200, the techniques are?
They're hard to get needles for.
Yeah, man.
They're hard to get needles for them now. So I was like, these Rains are perfect. It's a vinyl. It's a 12-inch. It moves. It scratches. It's perfect.
Do people still get surprised how well you DJ?
I think they do. I think they think I'm joking when I walk into the booth, and the DJ's like, go on. And they're like, oh, shit, get off.
Yeah.
I did that at your birthday party.
Yeah, and I thank you. So the amateur boxing, the DJing, and you still working everything, or are there other?
And I was working at Aldo. I was working in shoe stores. I was working. Whatever. I didn't care. I had no pride.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't have. Listen, when you have no money, if you have no money and you have pride, you're gonna be broke for longer.
Right. I hear you.
And then I had immigrant parents. They ain't gonna let you just sit around and follow your dreams. They're gonna be like, you can follow the dream, but also make some money.
Right. Bring something home to the table. Was it difficult being Indian and not seeing so many others when you started comedy?
There was no Indians when I started doing comedy. I was the first guy.
So how difficult is that, if it is at all? I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, I didn't go in going, I'm going to be the first Indian guy. I didn't know that. I just started doing it. I was a fan of comedy, and I was just like, I'm just going to go do comedy. And then people started calling me the Indian comedian. I'm like, I suppose.
Right.
But then they started saying he does Indian comedy. I go, nah, pump your brakes, bitch. That's not what I do.
Right.
I do comedy.
Was it hard for you to change that narrative?
Well,
because
no,
that narrative would have stuck.
That
if you
narrative didn't come
something.
until way later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was doing the black comedy shows in Toronto from like 95 on. And I was killing it. That was like, because that's where I grew up.
And that's your backbone.
That's what those are the people I grew up with. So I knew them in and out. So I was killing. I was basically the Gary Owen of Canadian
in the day.
Canadian and British black comedy.
Yes, sir. And so when you go and they start saying the Indian comedian, that's when you already kind of like on and like, nah, I touched many stages and many mics, and I don't do just straight Indian comedy.
Yeah, you gotta let them know, and then you can't just be like, oh, watch the show and tell me what you think at the end. That's what I say.
Did you feel like you had to like be just as twice as good sometimes?
Oh, always.
Yeah,
always. And it doesn't matter how good you are because they're gonna look for somebody younger. Eventually, they're gonna come in and be like, just like the Eddie Murphy type scenario. We need an Eddie Murphy type,
right?
And that's what I became the type. And then they were like, we want that, but not that. We want the knockout version.
Really though.
The industry. The industry's shady.
Hell yeah, it is. Yeah, man. Hey, is Hollywood afraid of Russell Peters?
Probably. I don't give a shit about Hollywood.
Right.
I really don't give a fuck about the industry. It could go suck its own dick.
Right.
Or whatever it identifies it as.
I would watch that.
And
I guess.
And I don't care. I just gonna do stand up for the rest of my life. That's it.
Does it feel good not being tied to anything? Because we had someone in the neighborhood, and they were talking about like, I don't have that to lose.
I don't have that to lose. And the other problem is they didn't make me.
Right.
The Hollywood didn't make me. The industry didn't make me. The people made me. So you can't take it away from me. Because what are you going to go to every human being and be like, hey, you need to not like him anymore?
How do you feel, Russell, when you see someone apologize?
I think it's the worst mistake they can make.
Damn.
You never apologize. Unless you really did something on purpose.
Right.
If you did it on purpose, then yeah, apologize. But if you did it and your spirit was right when you did it, man, you can't apologize.
Really? Have you ever apologized or felt bad?
No.
Damn.
No.
All right. Yeah.
I think I've said I'm responsible for what I say. I'm not responsible for what you hear.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just put it on them. Like, you heard that wrong.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, man,
but it's true. Like if you ever read like I know I'm a negative guy when I read things. I never read it in the tone it's read. So like if I read comments on my Instagram, it'll be like they probably meant it like, hey man, I was at your show, I loved your outfit. But I read it as, hey man, I was at your show, loved your outfit. Like I'm like they're just subtly calling me dick. You know what I mean? So that's how people will interpret things when they hear it. You know what I mean?
True.
Right. Hey man, that was you really explained that very well. Yeah. That's why I tell people sometimes too, I say, man, call me because the texture of text is different. Yeah. The texture of text is very different, bro. Now, when you in front of your audience, bro, do you love when you do something and how quick it comes back to you? Like you never get used to that laughter coming back at you, huh?
No, it's a drug.
Yeah.
It's like, it's that instant rush. You're like, oh, there it is. And then you say some shit that you never said before. Yeah. And you're like, oh man, that was dope. I gotta do that again.
Had you ever said the reading the text?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Please.
I should.
Oh my God, bro. Okay. Because I totally understood.
Well, in my act right now, I talk about how the media will take something a comedian says, they'll take a piece of it, and then they'll frame it in such a way that you read it the way they want you to read it.
Right.
I said, if you handed me a transcript of everything I said on this show tonight without even telling me it was me, and I read it, I'd be like, this guy's a piece of shit.
Right.
I would cancel myself.
Right. Why did you name the tour the Act Your Age World Tour?
Because I think it's time I started acting my age, but not exactly my age.
Hey, dude, when we were walking back right now, I was saying some funny stuff. Well, at least I thought it was funny to me. And I said, man, when am I going to act my age? What is that act your age kind of thing? You know?
That's what it is. Like, what is it? Like, do we act our parents' age?
Right.
And when they were this age, and because we're the first generation that's immature.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
And the next generation is going to be even more infantile.
Oh my gosh. Yes. But you got to think we do adult things though. We take care of our families. We get up, we go to work.
Yeah,
We just like to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're the last generation to take care of our families and get up and work.
Right? Yeah. We the last generations on a whole lot.
Yeah. This next generation is trying to figure out how not to wake up and
Yeah.
how not to work and shortcuts to taking care of your family.
Hey, man, do you see now, even in the comedy field, that people are Insta-famous because what they can do on social media?
Yeah, those are the best because you got those TikTok kids, and then all of a sudden they get on stage and it's like, now you got 30 minutes to kill, fool. Go ahead.
Dude, who just said that?
I believe that was Jesus. Yeah.
Jesus Sepulveda?
I think it was
Trejo
him.
or Sepulveda?
Jesus Sepulveda. Yeah.
There's a guy named Jesus Sepulveda?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Comedian. He got an HBO Max right now.
How come I don't
Extremely
know this
funny.
guy?
Funny.
Trust
Got a
me,
street
man.
named after him.
Yeah, yeah. And he's related to the Sawtells as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, no, yeah, but he was the same thing.
And
He was-
the Christ.
yeah. Hey, man, this dude. Hey, I think I know your work.
Nailed it.
What is, dude? Years down the line when
Yes.
you pass,
Yeah.
please make sure you donate your brain to science.
If they're gonna hate it.
yeah.
What would the obituary say?
Yeah.
It's gonna be spelled BITCH. It's gonna be a bitch you Harry. Hey bitch you Harry.
Hurry up and die.
Not you.